Ethiopia Insight, where we delve into the intricacies of Ethiopian politics. Today we present Lidetu Ayalew's latest article entitled, "Is Addis Ababa the beginning of our salvation or the end of our destruction?" in its original form. But first, who is Lidetu? Born in 1969 in the historic town of Lalibela, Lidetu's journey from modest beginnings to political prominence reflects a blend of grassroots activism and strategic leadership. Lidetu's political trajectory began with the founding of the Ethiopian Democratic Party, EDP, in 1992, marking the start of his impactful political career. His strategic alliances and advocacy efforts played a pivotal role in shaping Ethiopia's political discourse. Throughout his tenure, Lidetu championed democratic principles. His leadership saw both successes, such as the formation of the Coalition for Unity and Democracy, and challenges, including internal rifts within political alliances. Lidetu's vision for progressive change is evident in his book Yearem Ersha, The Weed Farm, offering insights into Ethiopia's political evolution and the challenges faced by its leaders. Join us as we present you his latest article entitled, "Is Addis Ababa the beginning of our salvation or the end of our destruction?" in its original form. Before we continue, it's important to note that the views expressed in this video are those of the writer and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of our channel, Ethiopia Insight. Is Addis Ababa the beginning of our salvation or the end of our destruction? By Lidetu. This short article is not a new piece. It is extracted from the concluding section of an article I penned and circulated a year ago under the title, "Politics of What I Don't Eat." Although more than a year has passed since its initial writing, the recent campaign to demolish downtown Addis Ababa and Mr. Shimelis Abdisa's arrogant and racist remarks have reignited the controversy surrounding the future of Addis Ababa. In light of these developments, I deemed it fitting to revisit the article as a reminder. Therefore, I have reprised only the conclusion segment of the article, making revisions to align with the current circumstances. On this note, I respectfully urge readers to revisit my article, Politics of What I Don't Eat, to gain a deeper understanding of how unjust, grave, and pertinent to our national existence the Addis Ababa issue truly is. Politics of What I Don't Eat. Conclusion. The people and citizens residing in the administration of Addis Ababa, unlike those in the rest of the country, have been deprived of many of their political rights by the country's constitution. Additionally, during the 27-year-old era of the EPRDF, the people and citizens living in the administration of Addis Ababa have been vulnerable to many illegal influences. The worst part now is that its entire existence is in grave danger during the prosperity regime's period. The main cause of this disaster is the radical nationalist claim that Addis Ababa is only ours. People from all four corners of the country have built together for more than 140 years with their sweat and efforts, where more than 5 consecutive generations have lived together. This land, which is home to millions and has transcended being the capital of Ethiopia to become the seat of the African Union, should not be claimed as only ours. This agenda is unacceptable from moral, historical, legal, and political perspectives, let alone the city of Addis Ababa, where Ethiopians from all corners are bound together. The Oromia region itself, or other regions of the country, cannot be the region and property of one nationality or ethnic group, but belong to all the residents of the regions. The level of development reached by the country's formation process does not allow this, and there is no law in our country that grants such an enforceable right. Any claim to the contrary contradicts the federal constitution, which is the supreme law of all laws. In the past 5 years in Addis Ababa, we have witnessed discriminatory acts based on identity, mass firings and arrests of Tigray natives, targeted demolitions and bans on Amharas, and the destruction of mosques and churches. Overall, we have seen the establishment of an apartheid-like city ring called Shega, where non-Oromo-speaking citizens are marginalized and the people of Addis Ababa are under siege. Now we are witnessing the destruction of the city's historical traces and the rupture of its social bonds. All this is not due to a lack of public administration knowledge, but stems from a hidden desire to achieve narrow political objectives. The regime's actions are strategic, aimed at consolidating political power by controlling Addis Ababa. This is not merely about monopolizing a city, but part of a larger project to create a separate state. The danger posed by radical Oromo nationalists in Addis Ababa and at the national level affects not only one ethnic group, but the entire population of the country, including the Oromo people, and hastens the country's disintegration. Even if the opposition failed to change the government or system during the 32-year struggle, had we at least won and controlled Addis Ababa in 2005 after the Coalition for Unity and Democracy victory in the Addis Ababa Assembly, we would have avoided the current perilous situation. Failure to safeguard the historical gains of people's struggle has led us to this critical juncture, impacting our country negatively in many ways. Unless we grasp the full extent of the peril facing Addis Ababa, simply reacting to events in the city without a strategic understanding will not avert danger or bring about change. While hasty demolitions without proper research are unjustifiable, calling for demolitions amid the country's broader crisis is equally misguided. Addis Ababa, home to over 75% of the nation's financial capacity and educated elite, serves as the historical nexus and unifying force for Ethiopians. The accelerating disintegration across regions will culminate in Addis Ababa's Armageddon unless staunchly opposed. Conversely, decisive action in Addis Ababa can arrest this collapse and ensure survival. Therefore, accepting statelessness and lack of citizenship due to indifference risks witnessing the unraveling of our existence and the country's demise. With a population exceeding 6 million, larger than over 70 countries, Addis Ababa can defend itself and secure its future if politically conscious, activated, and organized. Failing to utilize this potential promptly and effectively could shift the balance of power irreversibly. The battle against radical nationalist forces, bent on achieving their aims by any means, including demographic shifts, requires foresight and proactive measures. If the current regime's aggressive tactics go unchecked, the situation may become irreversible after an election cycle. The regime is diligently working to create such a scenario, making early intervention crucial. The people of Addis Ababa wield a powerful weapon, peaceful struggle, in their hands. They must cease waiting for armed forces to rescue them from the forest, and instead initiate their own urgent struggle. While the recent song, "They Are Coming," carries a message, it harbors a dangerous ambition that diverts attention from the people's struggle and prolongs the regime's lifespan. Relying on others' sacrifice and struggle is both morally and practically misguided for the urban and national elite, who should lead the charge. This generation cannot have any other serious agenda in its history that should be prioritized more than this issue. We should stand together and be prepared to sacrifice for it. The regime's blatant contempt for the people must stop immediately. Setting aside everything else, a few years ago when these extremists openly and boldly threatened, "We will cut off the water supply to the people of Addis Ababa," the people should have recognized the existential threat, approaching the point of genocide, and should have fought to reverse the danger from the outset. A power that dares to threaten, with utter devastation, "I will kill you with thirst." Except it's a matter of time, there is no limit to the evil it can commit to realizing its aspirations. Therefore, understanding that this issue poses an existential threat to the entire country's people, we must all unite and courageously persevere in our fight against the regime. However, mere paper statements, complaints, tears, and waiting for others' actions will only invite contempt from the regime. What's needed is a rapid, coordinated, and organized people's struggle involving widespread participation, readiness to bear the cost, and sustained effort. This entails organizing around existing and new political entities to restore Addis Ababa's former role as a leading force in the struggle, a role it lost after 2005 for various reasons. Currently, illegal attacks must be met with peaceful demonstrations and civil disobedience, while structural issues demand active engagement in the electoral process for lasting change. This is achievable through concerted action and determination. Fighting and defeating the regime in elections is a practical achievement we've already accomplished, so it shouldn't be viewed as impossible or feared. The regime's power is built on money and influence, not unity of purpose, and it won't withstand the strong legal and peaceful struggle of the people for long. The challenge lies in recognizing our potent ability for peaceful resistance. When considering electoral politics, we shouldn't limit ourselves to national elections every 5 years. With sufficient awareness, cooperation, unity in struggle, and wholehearted participation from the people in peaceful resistance, we can initiate a re-election in Addis Ababa by gathering protest signatures from 10,000 residents in each electoral district. This legal and peaceful approach can lead to a swift change in Addis Ababa's administration within months, echoing the historical events of 2005 without resorting to force. The opposition political parties need to approach the people as a real and strong alternative force. There should be no doubt that the people, who are now clearly seeing the danger of existence, will stand by us. The Oromo people, whose name is being traded for the sake of a few power-hungry individuals, should learn from others who have been victims of unjustified violence due to the wrong political narrative and cooperate in the fight against the regime. The struggle in Addis Ababa transcends local interests. It's about safeguarding the entire country. Conquering Addis Ababa is pivotal to defeating the regime nationally and preserving Ethiopia and its people from existential threats. The Ethiopian Democratic Party, EDP, understood this strategic importance early on, running in the 2000 election with the slogan, "Our primary objective is to liberate Addis Ababa," and preparing meticulously in 2005 to win the majority of seats in the Addis Ababa Council. Although it didn't succeed due to the weak mindset of others, EDP attempted to collaborate with the opposition in the 2020 election because it firmly believed that winning Addis Ababa would pave the way for a broader victory. Unfortunately, most opposition parties opted to run independently rather than uniting. If this individualistic approach persists in future struggles and elections, it could result not only in electoral defeat and loss of power, but also jeopardize the country's existence and its people. Drawing from my extensive experience in struggle, I can confidently say that unlike the past 32 years, if opposition parties cooperate, listen, distance themselves from rumors and conspiracy theories, and embrace new ideas with innovation, we can undoubtedly defeat this weak and isolated regime through peaceful and legal means. The ongoing struggle isn't merely about political supremacy, it's a fight for survival. It's not solely the responsibility of political parties. It requires the active involvement of influential scholars, religious leaders, civic organizations, affluent individuals, artists, athletes, and others who must step off the sidelines and become protagonists in this fight. Fame, honor, and wealth hold no value without a country and its people. If the country falls, we all face the grim fate of unjust killings by armed forces or forced emigration. Addis Ababa signifies either the start of our salvation or the brink of our destruction. Its survival isn't determined by the regime, but by our collective strength or weakness. To ensure the country's continuity and the next generation's future, no sacrifice should be postponed. We must be willing to pay the price not just with tears, but also with sweat and blood to safeguard our existence. Lidetu concludes by saying, "As a concerned citizen and politician, I'm prepared to pay any price necessary for the success of this struggle. Are you ready to join? If your answer is yes, let's engage in clear and swift discussions, decisions, and actions before it's too late. There's no time to waste." That's all for now. Thank you for joining us. Before we sign off, we want to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful updates, like this video, if you found it informative, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement and feedback are invaluable to us. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and have a great day. Thank you for watching.